Hello, hello, my little voidlings, and welcome back to War of the Monsters. So, last episode, we had a little bit of trouble. We did Gojira, Gonger, Praetor. Today, we're doing Robo 47. So, spoiler alert, I know how this one ends because, well, you should as well if you're watching any day after this thing releases. So, this was always going to end up being a short series, mainly because I didn't want to do every single character. I just wanted to get through the game once. But, let's get digging right into the good stuff. So, Robo 47. They're kind of clunky, much more clunky than any of the other characters. Ironic, because it is a robot, or I should say unironically. Anyways, so they kind of play a little bit stiff, a little bit more like they want to lean towards ranged combat rather than in your face because they're rather slow. I'm actually surprised that I did as well as I did for this character. Main reason being, I think that if you're getting game overs and you keep swapping out characters, you generally get better at the game at large versus, just the one character. That is just my belief, by the way. It makes it a whole lot more frustrating because every time you do die or you do get game over, you gotta try it again. Anyways, so once again, I'm speeding up for the fights that we have already seen. We've already seen the fights with the ants, Conger, Praetor, and Robo Conger. This boss fight is like the absolute time sink, seriously. But a couple of things I can confirm. This game, it does have under an hour of content. If you go straight through the battles, like you're not having too much difficulty with the battles, you will complete a campaign in about 1 hour. I know this because that's how long it took with the editing. That is not including load screens, not including cutscene. Well, that is including cutscenes, but not including load screens or like the saving mechanic. But anyways, we knocked this guy out fairly quickly. It's not that hard to do, at least at this point. Anyways, so continuing on. Next up is the fight between Praetor and the Robocon. And there they drop him in. The reason why I sound so bored of this is because you guys seen it a couple of times. I've seen it twice as much as you have. Anyways, so rushing through this fight, they do a pretty good job of kicking my ass, but I kick it right back. And of course, Praetor just runs around the map, and I gotta do a wild goose chase. And of course, at this point, I find out a little truth about the AI, the AI will play like a player. So what I mean by that is that if you have a ranged ability that needs to lock on to an enemy, they will hide behind barriers as long as it takes for you to decide, okay, I guess I'm just launching this ultimate, it's not going to help us. And if you notice, yes, the increase of speed is starting to wane a little bit. If I were to say something for in-universe, my chronomancy is slowly wearing thin, but in all actuality, I'm purposely letting it slow down. Because we're getting onto the part onto where we left off in the last game. Not the last game, but the last episode. And of course, these guys make it a little bit more difficult, but when you know what you're doing, you know what to target, you can get it knocked out pretty quickly. Once again, trying to figure out, okay, how do I do the ground pound? Eventually, I think I give up and just... Oh, nope, there we go. So, hitting that stuns them for a little bit, allowing you the chance to go ahead and destroy some of the other reactors. I do not know if this is a survive an X amount of time or destroy all the reactors, but reactor meltdown happens. And now we're back to this flowery son of a bitch. So the key to fighting this guy, as I soon found out, was to wait out his re-attacks and then shoot him when he finally opens his mouth. It's a lot easier than it sounds, both easier and harder. Once again, I'm doing this on easy, and I'm having a little bit of difficulty mainly because I've never played the game before. So that's one. I'm expecting him to immediately open his mouth, but that's not what happens. So, turns out they will go 1, 2, 3, and on the third one they'll be open. At least if I remember correctly, that's how it works. Ouch. And as you can see, clearly jumping while running is the best way to avoid those tendrils. That's where I found out it's 1, 2, 3, then strike. Now, when people say that they miss like earlier games, they're referring to games like this purely because, let's face it, you don't get too many off-the-wall games like this anymore nowadays. You may get some from indie developers, like 1 or 2 teams, but not from studios. And that's the sad part, is these are really good graphics for the time. And so, not being able to get kind of out there games like this anymore is kind of sad. Okay, I think I just understand this. I hope I'm right. I don't want to say PS2 was the golden age of gaming, but it kind of was. I mean, don't get me wrong, we still have great games nowadays. At least at the time of recording, but just being able to have something just so off the wall insane like this, where it's like 2 hours, but it's fine. And then we're fighting more robos. These guys, surprisingly enough, were a little difficult to fight. It took me a little bit. Mainly because everybody's attacks are just slow. And getting down this hill was just absolutely delightful. The moment that we got down here, you can tell that it just played a lot different because there wasn't buildings to hide behind, there wasn't much of anything to hide. It opened both me and them up to easier combat and me to a lot of rounds. Specifically, these guys grab me so many times, it's not even funny. And at this point, we can just say it's over, I have the high ground. Which I quickly give up. Because at this point, it's like, oh, joy, you're low on health. Good. Who wants Daddy's belt? And as you can see, I'm trying to return the grab. It's not working. At this point in the game, it's not going to work. Unless you're pretty good. Because grabbing is just so slow, it's too easy to counter. And there's the last robo. And then we go from robo to elementals. My guess of earth and magma. You can even see that the robot's going, what the? But yeah, these guys were an absolute pain. Because along with dealing with them, you also got spaceships shooting at you, which they have more range powers than a lot of like the other like minor annoyances, plus they follow you. But yeah, I absolutely loathe the fact that the water is so well animated and everything else, especially for this time of gaming, that it is legitimately impressive. The only one I've seen on the PS2 era that is better are specifically water-based games like Splashdown, Rides Gone Wild. That is just a sea-view racing game. So yeah, that's the only reason why I think that one's more impressive for water. But I mean, look at the beach. You can tell what that's supposed to be. It acts the way it's supposed to act, at least without using mesh physics and stuff like that, which honestly they wouldn't be able to compute back in this day without having to seriously cut back on everything else. And the fact you can destroy every building, pretty much, is just impressive. And as you can see, he's gonna hide behind there because I have my ultimate up and it is not in his favor to come out. Yeah, and we both die at the same time. Yeah, I don't mind. Which is hilarious. And this is the weird one. This is why I love this kind of game. There's freaking Gundams. Where? Tokyo. Some Japanese province. Why? No clue. But this one is one of the harder fights of the game, purely because they are so fast and so strong that it's hard to get a hit on them, and they know almost exactly when to block. Which is both good for the terms of difficulty, bad in terms of us trying to get through this. And keep in mind, this is on easy. I am struggling on easy. This is how the old school games used to be. And everybody kind of forgets that. Like, medium and hard weren't for like the average players to just start out in. It was for those because it's seriously only an hour long. Each campaign is only an hour. So the fact that like fighting through on easy is kind of what we consider normal is good in the fact that you can up the difficulty and get another 6-8 hours of fun out of it between all the characters, and then you up it one more time to hard. That gets even more difficult. And that's how you had more playtime back in the day. It wasn't thousands of hours in like an open world or a campaign. You'd have hundreds and thousands of hours because of replayability. Because let's face it, if you like playing Robo, you will play Robo as many times as you want.
Is wild, man.
But you will eventually get bored of playing Robo and decide to play, oh, I'm going to play Playtor. Oh, I'm going to play the Magma guy. I'm going to play Pong. And then when you get used to it, oh, okay, now I want to do medium. Now I want to do hard. Let me see how long I can go in endurance. The purpose of it wasn't give them as much as possible to waste their time. It's, okay, how do we make this game more while not doing too much more? So now we're moving on to the aliens. We've been here for a little bit. These guys were an absolute pain. The hardest of the multi-character battles. Well, multi-front battles. Mainly because they are each fully fledged characters that I could legitimately say I'd want to play as. And they're about as strong as the first enemy in the game. Maybe even the second. So these guys aren't the you can run up and just take care of them. Not only are they smart, they're fast, they're strong, they're a pain. They, like seriously, at one point you'll see coming up, I have an ultimate ready and I'm low on health. These guys will hide behind their barriers. They take advantage of any possible outlet that they have. And this is easy. I'm telling you, back in the day, games were different. And I'm not saying that as a good or bad thing. If you like challenge, you'll see here. See, he's hiding right behind the barrier. I even wait, and he'll just go up and down.
Yes, I will wait for you to
Until eventually I release the rocket. At which point he'll run around. And you see, he's going around. He's like, okay, now that you don't have that ultimate, I can now attack you. And then it's back down to Earth. Now I will admit one thing, and one thing only. This run has a single game over, and I will tell you where I cut the footage that I got the game over. No, wait, I don't even think I cut the footage. No, I didn't cut the footage. I legitimately kept it in and then just edited it as if it was like just another death. You have another life. But I will tell you when. This boss fight is both the hardest and easiest. It is the easiest because the moment you know to hide behind the pillars, you're safe. But the pillars will generally be taken out faster than you will be able to hide behind them. It will be taken out faster than when his beam comes off cooldown or comes off the firing. And this here was just a test. It's like, oh, okay, we definitely can't block that. So it's very much we have to do it via the pillars. And see, like I said, the moment that like he's done firing, or the moment that it breaks, he stops firing, which you still get some damage off of. So there's no real avoiding damage with it. Unless you run behind the pillar while it's firing. Yeah, and this is a little bit of tedium, just trying to, you know, take him out for this. There we go, knocked out the arms and the legs. And guess what? I guessed it while playing. He's coming up as a spider/octopus. I originally said spider, but come on. This is how a spider walks. But I start out with firing some equipment, firing some rounds, find out very quickly that's not working. So I have the thought, wait a second, can he destroy anything that's shielded? The answer to that is no. So it's like, wonderful, time to spam. And this is the annoying part. He's able to follow you now. There is no safe haven. The only hope you have is that you can back up into something that you can pick up. That goes down. Stage 2 is done. Guess what? It's not actually done. Yep. He has a crawling form. He's like, fine. If I can't kill you with my super awesome weapons, I will kill you with my bare hands. Which doesn't make a lot of sense. But I will 100% admit it is this form that kills me simply because I am already low on health and there's no avoiding some damage. It takes a little bit to learn each attack pattern, and this guy has like an 8-move combo. Is it cheap? Yes. Is it petty? Yes. I don't think he cares though.
Okay, I know I blacked out.
Oh, it's a 10-hit combo.
That is
And right there is where I said it was unfair because I got a game. But I decided to keep going because, well, let's face it, I'm 90% sure that this was the final battle. And I just wanted the stream to be over at this point. So yeah, I kind of broke what I said I would do. But I only really made an exception because, like I said, it was the last battle. We were so close anyways. And it was getting late. All of these are kind of excuses, but I will still stand by them. I value my time, I value your time. And he just keeps killing me. And there we go, he's finally dead. Over dramatic death. Oh, you've defeated me. Oh, exploding of the brain. Why his brain exploded, I have no idea. Do I care? Not at all. And look, see, he's not even fully dead. As if that's an opening for another game. The awakening of Robo 47. Oh. Oh, so these unlock the cinematics. But I will think that'll do for this episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching something that's a little bit unorthodox. Like I said, I found this while just scrolling through the PlayStation Classics catalog. And I figured, you know what? If there's any game to try this out with, let's try it out with this. I streamed, I recorded, and I think it turned out okay. And once again, if any of you guys want to join us live, it's twitch.tv/VoidScout1997. Link will be down in the description as always. And until next time, I will see you all in the void. Bye.